You did it, you actually did it. You saved your first $1,000. That excitement is amazing, right? But now, a totally different feeling is creeping in. You're staring at that number, absolutely terrified that one wrong move will send you right back to square one. You see videos telling you to YOLO it all into crypto, your friends are suddenly stock market experts, and the fear of messing it all up is so real you just freeze. You do nothing. But before we fix that, hit the subscribe button, because on this channel, we break down money, investing, and financial freedom in a way that actually makes sense for real people. Let's fix that. Because the smartest thing to do with your first $1,000 is probably not what you think. This isn't just about money, it's about a new mindset. That $1,000 is proof you can build a different financial future. It's the very first brick in what will become your financial fortress, but a fortress needs a blueprint. Most people lose money not because they pick the wrong stock, but because they start building the walls before they've even poured the foundation. They get the order wrong. Today, we're going to get it right. We're walking through the exact, step-by-step plan that turns that $1,000 from a source of anxiety into the engine of your financial freedom. The sleep well at night foundation. Before we even whisper the word investing, we need to build a buffer. This $1,000 is your new beginning, and its first job is to protect you. We're going to turn it into a starter emergency fund. Think of it as the concrete foundation for your financial house. You wouldn't build a skyscraper on soft sand, and you shouldn't start investing without a safety net. An emergency fund is not an investment, it's financial insurance. Its only job is to be there when a real emergency strikes, a surprise car repair, an urgent medical bill, or a sudden job loss. This fund is the only thing standing between a minor headache and a full-blown crisis that pushes you into high-interest debt, or worse. Forces you to sell your future investments at the absolute worst time. Now, the classic mistake is leaving this money in your regular checking account where it's way too easy to spend, or in a traditional savings account earning practically nothing. We're not doing that. The smartest place for your starter emergency fund in 2026 is a high-yield savings account, or HYSA. These are FDIC insured, just like a regular bank account, but they pay way more interest. As of May 2026, many HYSAs are offering rates around 4% to 4.5%. That means your $1,000 could earn you $40 to $45 in a year for doing literally nothing. It won't make you rich, but it keeps your money from getting eaten by inflation while it waits to protect you. Opening an HYSA is simple, and you can do it online in minutes. I get it, this isn't the exciting part of building wealth. It's the boring, but completely non-negotiable first step. Having this cash buffer gives you something more valuable than any stock market return: peace of mind. It lets you breathe, knowing that a flat tire won't wreck your entire financial plan. This is your sleep well at night money. Once you have this $1,000 buffer locked in, you've officially graduated from living on the financial edge. Now we can talk about what's next. The debt destroyer. With your starter emergency fund in place, you've built a small moat around your financial life. Awesome. But before we start building the castle, we have to clear out any enemies that are already inside the gates. I'm talking about high-interest debt, credit cards, personal loans, anything with an interest rate that makes your eyes water. Trying to invest while carrying this kind of debt is like trying to fill a bucket with a giant hole in the bottom. Let's be brutally honest with the math. Say you have a $1,000 balance on a credit card charging you 20% interest. That debt is costing you $200 a year, guaranteed. Meanwhile, the historical average return of the stock market is about 10% per year, and that's never guaranteed. If you choose to invest your extra cash instead of paying down that credit card, you are actively choosing a potential 10% gain over a guaranteed 20% loss. It's a losing game every single time. Paying off high-interest debt is the single best, risk-free investment you can make. The return is guaranteed to be whatever the interest rate is. The plan. A good rule of thumb is to attack any debt with an interest rate over 7% or 8% before you start seriously investing. There are two popular ways to do this: the debt snowball and the debt avalanche. The debt snowball is about psychology. You pay off your smallest debts first, regardless of the interest rate. Every time you wipe out a debt, you score a quick win, which gives you the momentum to keep going. The debt avalanche is mathematically better. You list your debts by interest rate and attack the one with the highest rate first. This saves you the most money and interest over time. So which one is for you? It really depends on what gets you fired up, quick wins or pure math. It doesn't matter which you choose, as long as you pick one and go all in. Use any money you have beyond your $1,000 emergency fund to start crushing this debt. If you don't have any, congratulations, you get to jump to the next step. But for most of us, becoming debt-free is the real launchpad for building wealth. Quick pause for a second. If this video is helping you think about money differently, hit the like button and subscribe right now. Most people never build wealth because they skip the boring foundations and chase shortcuts instead. But on this channel, we focus on the exact systems that actually work in real life: building savings, destroying debt, investing smart, and creating long-term financial freedom step by step. And trust me, the next part is where everything starts to compound. The wealth-building engine, all right, you have your $1,000 emergency fund on standby, and you've either cleared your high-interest debt or you never had it. Now, finally, it's time to make your money start working for you. This is where we switch from defense to offense. We're going to build your wealth engine, and we'll do it in the simplest, most effective way for a beginner. First step, open the right investment account. For most beginners in 2026, the best choice is a Roth IRA. This is a retirement account with a killer advantage. You put in money you've already paid taxes on, and in return, all of your future growth and withdrawals in retirement are 100% tax-free. Seriously, decades from now, when your investments have hopefully ballooned into a huge sum, you won't owe the government a dime on that growth. For 2026, you can contribute up to $7,000 a year if you're under 50. Now, the big question: what do you actually buy inside your Roth IRA? This is where people get paralyzed. They think they need to be a stock-picking genius. You don't. The simplest and most proven strategy is to buy a low-cost, broad market index fund or ETF. Think of an index fund as a shopping basket that holds tiny pieces of hundreds or even thousands of companies. An S&P 500 index fund, for example, holds stock in the 500 largest companies in the US. When you buy one share of that fund, you instantly own a tiny slice of Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and 497 other major players. Why is this so powerful? First, instant diversification. You aren't betting your future on one company that could go bust. You're betting on the entire US economy, which has a pretty solid track record of growing over the long run. Second, it's incredibly cheap. These funds have tiny fees, often costing you just a couple of dollars per year for every $1,000 you have invested. This approach takes all the stress and guesswork out of it. No need to read charts or try to time the market. You just buy the whole market and let it do its thing for years and years. Automation is your superpower. You have your emergency fund. You have a plan for debt. You've opened a Roth IRA and you know what you're buying. Now for the final piece, the one that truly separates people who build wealth from those who just talk about it: automation. The secret to long-term success isn't being a genius, it's being consistent. And the best way to be consistent is to take your own emotions and laziness out of the equation. You are going to set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to your investment account every single payday. It doesn't matter if it's $25, $50, or $100. The amount at the beginning is less important than the habit. By setting up an automatic contribution, you pay your future self first, before you even have a chance to spend that money on something else. This strategy is called dollar cost averaging. When you invest a fixed amount on a regular schedule, you naturally buy more shares when the market is down and fewer shares when it's up. It removes the temptation to time the market, which is a game almost everyone loses. Think about it. Building wealth is no longer something you have to remember to do. It's not a decision you have to make. It just happens, quietly and consistently, in the background of your life. The money moves automatically. The investments are bought automatically. Your wealth grows automatically. This is how normal people build extraordinary wealth over time. It's not one brilliant move, but thousands of disciplined, automated, and frankly, boring steps. That is your superpower. So let's recap the blueprint. That first $1,000 isn't for gambling, it's for building. First, you lock it down in a high-yield savings account to create your sleep well at night emergency fund. That's your foundation. Second, you become a debt destroyer, using extra cash flow to wipe out any high-interest debt holding you back. Third, you build your wealth engine by opening a Roth IRA and buying a simple, low-cost index fund. And finally, you activate your superpower by automating your contributions, making your long-term success almost inevitable. You've already done the hardest part. You started. You changed your habits, you showed discipline, and you saved that first $1,000. You proved to yourself it was possible. You're not just someone who spends money anymore. You are a saver, and now you're an investor. You are on the path. Don't let fear stop you now. Follow these steps, and that $1,000 won't be a source of anxiety, but the very first milestone on your journey to financial freedom. If you've followed these steps and are ready to open that investment account, be sure to watch my next video, How to Open a Roth IRA in Under 10 Minutes, right here. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more no-nonsense financial guides.